Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving my honest thoughts on how that project is being ran. And today I'm very excited to be checking out the most popular project on all of Kickstarter right now, that is Tiny Epic Vikings. The gods, fury is rising, sail the new lands, conquer, settle, and defend, all for their favor. 1, 2, that. So that right now is cut off. Okay, so it will. So 1 to 4 players, 45 to 60 minutes to play. Okay. So it does have some crucial information. I'd love to see it on the main image here. Like, I see the artwork and whatever. I know you want to spotlight the Tiny Epic, but still a player count time like that'd be solid on the main image. But I guess it's right here for some people, and then not for other people. It depends on how close you're zoomed in, which I think is a really interesting concept. But anywho, as always, when you go in the video, I'm thinking 3 things. Ooh, drafting plus area control. I did not see that before. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go. And the first thing I need to mention, and I feel like I should mention this, is because I shouldn't assume everybody knows this. This is a massively popular series of games. There's Tiny Epic Western, Tiny Epic Zombie, Tiny Epic Dinosaurs, Tiny Epic this, Tiny Epic that. So this is a game in a series of games, and I almost feel like maybe they should have put that a little bit more prevalently. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like most people know that, but not everybody. I wonder what percentage of people. Did you know that? So let me know in the comments below. Did you know that the Tiny Epic series was a very popular series of games? Because I imagine it's most people on Kickstarter. I'd say 70% probably. But I don't know. I don't want to assume that sort of thing. It's an interesting one.
In the frigid Runic Isles of the North Sea, the Vikings reign supreme. These determined explorers navigate the icy fjords, build fertile settlements upon rocky crags, and fight for the glory of their clans with blood and steel. Only the gods stand above them, and it is every Viking's dream to die gloriously in battle. Can your clan channel the runes to serve their god in the afterlife, Valhalla?
So I feel like that was 37 seconds of us saying, theme, just theme, Viking theme, Viking. Like, I get it. We get the Viking theme. I'd love to see the gameplay. I'd love to see the components. I'd love to see the box, because now I'm going to see it's a really small box. I'm not the biggest fan of the intro there. It's just super overly generic. And I know they want to showcase the artwork maybe, but it's like, eh.
Tiny Epic Vikings.
Like, honestly, from the name Tiny Epic Vikings, I know it's about Vikings. Like, I get that.
Vikings is a fast-playing 1 to 4 player strategy game where you will compete to control the frigid seas and earn
fast playing. What's the time? Like 45 to 60 minutes. Okay.
the favor of the gods. It is the first in the Tiny Epic series to feature a foldable game board, showing a highly detailed map of the Runic Isles.
So I do like what they did right there. They immediately mentioned that this is part of a series. They kind of snuck it in there. So if I happen to be that small percentage who didn't know what this was, they say, oh, it's a series now. And I think that just gives it more credibility on the can you do it aspect there. So I do like how they slid that in there. And if you're a fan of the series, you're like, oh, a board.
The map is dotted with islands, each possessing a rune that channels the power of one of the 3 gods. Each island is surrounded by harsh fjords that only the bravest explorers and raiders dare venture in. The game is played over 3 eras. Each begins with a draft phase, in which players are dealt, select, and pass Viking cards to create a hand, representing the leaders of their clan.
Ooh.
Following the draft...
Too fast. I want to see it. There's a lot of info on those cards. I don't know why I said info. Info. Okay, cool.
Following the draft, players will take turns playing 1 Viking at a time, each offering different actions for their clan, like sailing, exploring, building, harvesting, and of course, battling. When you play Vikings, you also build out a collection of runes, which can unlock future benefits. After performing a leader action, if you are in possession of the right runes, you can perform the card's rune action as well, making the timing of when you play certain Vikings critically important. Clans
that also adds some a fun aspect to the drafting as well there.
Gain runes from playing Viking cards and from controlling islands. Sail your ships to deploy your settlers, explore by ferrying settlers between islands, and build powerful temples to secure your influence.
I like how this is spotlighting the different components as well. I think they did a really good job of that.
Hold fast to any ground you take.
Which is why I love this so much more than 35 seconds of generic artwork of Vikings. With what looks like modern faces. I do want to say that. That looks like one of those ones where the faces are like, that doesn't look like a real Viking face to me. Like, there was one guy, and I was like, I bet that's a guy that somebody knows that from this company.
Another clan can steal it from you. The gods relish in conflict and demand a show of strength. Instead of playing a card face up and performing a leader action, a player may play it face down and start a battle. A favor card is then chosen, dedicating the honor of this.
Okay, so now I feel like we're going a little bit too much into the rules at this point. I feel like there's a very thin line to straddle between just making it a straight preview video and just like, grabbing my attention. And so I feel like we've gone past that point.
Battle to whichever gods match the runes that are on the card. Once all players...
Because this is kind of like math right here at this point, where if you get lost or sidetracked, then you try and jump back in, it's really hard to understand what's going on here. Like, I was cool with the drafting and the thing where I played the cards in different orders. That was neat.
...have decided whether or not to join the fight, the battle commences.
So now we're talking
Players
fighting.
reveal their Vikings, and the strongest emerges from the bloodshed, winning the gods' favor. However, the gods still honor those who fall in battle. Each player that loses is gifted a powerful Valhalla benefit by the god that their leader worships.
Cool.
And then that god's fury grows. After the third era, the game is over. One god's fury will be the strongest. That god will be declared supreme. Players will be awarded points for their runes based on standing of the gods. The player with the most points will be victorious and remembered by the world for eons to come. The engaging strategy, meaningful drafting, and cunning bluffing in Tiny Epic Vikings will have players coming back again and again to battle it out for glory. With a pantheon of gods and a legion of Vikings to choose from, no two games will ever be the same. Don't forget to check out the Ragnarok expansion that adds Jotun, the gargantuan frost giants, and the Valkyries, Asgard's winged warrior maidens, for an exciting twist that you won't want to miss. There is no better time than now to pledge your support and get a copy of Tiny Epic Vikings.
I wonder how many people actually got to the end.
Join us and become a...
I wonder how many people actually got to the end of that. I'm very curious, because I can't imagine most people sitting through through the rules explanation. I imagine, people skimming, people browsing, people saying, yeah, I get the gist, and then going down to the story.
Backer today.
Okay. Tiny Epic Blood Rage. Does give off a bit of that vibe. Gamelyn Games, 25 created, 250 backed. Like, this is one, and then Scott Holmes, the designer. So we have one person here in the customer service, in addition to, well, two, because there's a collaborator, and then there's Michael. So we're Gamelyn Games, creator of the Tiny Epic series and Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. We're a passionate board game company based out of Arizona. We believe each board game should be a collective masterpiece of artwork with a highly tested design, stunning visuals, and innovative components made exclusively with the highest quality materials. And can they do it? I feel totally comfortable with this. Like, they're at conventions, they make tons of games. They have built a brand. But as always, we do want to see how many games they have outstanding, because a lot of people like to know that. It's live, new Tiny Epic announcement. This update contains information on how to redeem missing rewards. Oh, so yes, people have gotten their stuff. This is in fact, if you haven't gotten your stuff, Tiny Epic Dungeons tutorial app. Well, that's nice. That looks good. Is Pirates out? Ooh, Dice tutorial. Be still my beating heart. I love that. And they have like a formula. Love it. Love it. I mean, this is what, obviously, you do 25 Kickstarters, you have a formula. So everything is out. Awesome. Fantastic. So can you do it 100% feel comfortable? Yes. Do I want it? I don't know. Like, yeah, the game, it sounds cool. The game does sound cool. I love the drafting. I like the components. The Tiny Epic series is a much beloved series. And it looks cool. I also like the fact that they immediately spotlighted the two boxes here. Draft the best Viking clan and lead them to glory. And honestly, with a drafting game still, the more cards you get, the more you're going to want it. So yeah, I want that expansion just because I want more cards. It's my favorite Tiny Epic game in the entire series. It gives me what Blood Rage gave me and more in less time. Wow! That is a great quote. So to reference it to other games in the series, say because there's like what 5, 10 of them. There's a crazy high number of them. It's my favorite, and it gave me Blood Rage vibes because Blood Rage, much beloved game. I think that's a great quote to lead off with. It's Dan, a very likable person, the Game Boy Geek. If you've not checked out his channel, you should. But great, I think that's a great quote to start off with. Game overview: Tiny Epic Vikings is a fast-playing 1 to 4 player strategy game of drafting, area control. You can see game fast-playing. Series first to unfortunate, they got the full game board. I get that. Earn favor of the gods to secure your victory. What do I want right now? I just kind of want the price. I want a how to play video, shipping information, stretch goals, stuff like that. Like right now, you're just kind of telling me all the stuff that you told me in the video. Inside the box, all this for only $25. You get the game, double-sided board, 48 Viking cards. We zoomed in. I like how they did the zoom. I'd maybe like to see it a little bit closer, but I can see the gist. Lots of cards, different information. 48, the 4 tribe mats, those look fantastic. I'd love to see that zoomed in as well, just a little bit more. Like, I get you're showing me the 4 colors, but I'd much rather see what one of these actually looks like, especially since they're not asymmetrical, and I know they're all going to look the same. 6 god mats, so we're getting variability there. The front, I'd like to be able to read those a little bit better, but whatevs. 18 favorite cards, and then here we go, 91 wooden pieces, and these are nice, custom-looking meeples. You sold me on those, and I think the price looks reasonable. $35? $25, even better. That's better than $35. That's a fact. All image components, game mechanics, add-ons to the game are subject to change, so then we have the deluxe content for only $5 more. I love how you let off with that. Love it. Please do Battle Crest by Button Shy Games. Next is a battle movement card game. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that was number 2 on the most popular games. Good for them. I will say, I'll give it another shot. But the last one I was on, I was like, I don't know. Because I like to be excited about these as well. I love coming into these. That's why I didn't do the most recent Settlers of the Lost, whatever the heck it was, because I knew there's going to be no video, there's going to be any excitement, it's just going to be a straight pre-order. It's just like, I'm just skipping that. Even though it would be an easy video to do for views, it's just but I do like how they started this for only $5 more. And I'm only paying $25 as it is. So I remember I was at $35. I was fine with $35. So $30, yeah, no problem. What am I getting? 6 shaman cards, 2 deluxe god mats, 14 Cairn tokens. Don't know what that is, but okay, cool. And that looks like a good deal. More variability, I'm in. The Shaman's mini expansions brings new powerful leaders to your clan. Does it fit in the same box? That's what I want to know. Kickstarter limit exclusivity. Deluxe content will not enter regular distribution. However, it will be available in limited supply at conventions, through contests, online. Okay. Cool. So this is why you should back it now. The expansion. A colossal expansion for the Tiny Epic Vikings. 10 more! So I think at this point they're saying it's $40. I would like maybe... Or is it $35? So is this... Let's see. What is it? So $20. Print and play. Yeah. Base game, $25, 52 people. Deluxe game, and then it goes up to 40. Okay, and that was obviously, I was going to assume that was going to be the most popular one because I feel like they did a pretty good job of spotlighting that, and I actually like this tactic. But for $5 more, you can get all this stuff. And you're like, well, $5 more, hell yeah, with that. But it's like, but for $10 more, you get just the whole expansion. Now, that being said, I think some people might be annoyed that they're making you buy that $5 expansion if you want to get the big expansion, presumably, unless they have an add-on system, in which case that's completely moot. That's a little odd, but still, it's $40. Like that's $20 less than MSRP, and you're getting what looks to be a pretty solid game from a company who's done a lot of stuff before. 6 Valkyrie cards, 6 Giant Slayer cards, 4 Valkyrie mats. Okay. 6 God mats, 12 Valkyrie tokens. So that was not what I was expecting. This looks like a whole different module. No, it's an expansion. It's an expansion. Okay, cool. Tiny Epic Vikings Ragnarok. You will have to sharpen your axes and your skill as you explore new islands and experience firsthand the battle of the giants versus the gods and the cunnings of the Valkyrie. Okay. I mean, I want it because it's $40 and the other thing's $25. Like you have such a solid price, and I'm like, yeah, I just want it because if I like the game, then I don't want to have to. I want to have it. Down the rule booklet now for a full understanding of how the game plays, pre-release, how to play.
Welcome to the jungle.
Okay, so it's a gameplay video, pretty much. 4-player gameplay, awesome.
Hello.
Run through. Okay, so we start off with the gameplay videos. Like it. Let's check out the rules. Dice. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's what I want to see. If you've not used the Dice tutorial app yet, it's delightful. It's very, very well done. And I hope it just gets more and more popular because it's just absolutely spectacular. And that's from someone who does how to play videos. So I actually should be hoping for this not to succeed because I do how to play videos. But I think it's even better. It's just so nice. Double-sided map board, 4 clan mats, 18. So we got the components. Where's the setup? Where's the setup? There we go. Okay. Looks solid. And once again, they've done 25 games. I would assume this would be pretty solid. Look at that. It looks great. I'd be excited to read this. I want to know what's up. Looks good. Love the fact it's there. We got the gameplay videos. Awesome. Preview. Nobody cares. Preview. I mean, there's gameplays. Why do I want to see a preview? No quotes. You only have one quote. I'm not a big fan of that. You just kind of dump videos here. Just pull out some quotes. Give me a bite-sized example of something they said. Like, what they love. He gets one. I like the way that losing battles can be just as important strategically as winning them. And immediately, I like this. Like, this is worth more than me because it's like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool aspect of the game. You just told me a cool aspect of the game, whereas like, oh, fancy thumbnails and whatnot. Like, that's why I feel quotes are so important if you do them well. Reward tiers, 25, 30. So this is kind of odd that it's not just lumped up with the other area, but whatever. I just want the shipping now at this point. You get the honorary producer, cool. Stretch goals. Oh, there are stretch goals. Wow. After 24 Kickstarter projects, we're trying something new for this one. We're including all the premium upgrades, and so you're not having stretch goals. Okay. Okay. So you got me a little bit excited, and then you're like, yeah, no, actually, we're not doing that. But whatever. Like, it looks like a solid game as is, and the price itself looks good. And I gotta say, kudos to them. Because if they would have hid, all this stuff behind a arbitrary, we gotta hit stretch goals things, maybe that $40 price point doesn't look nearly as good. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, part of the thing that really appealed to me was I saw these components when they had that video, and I was like, ooh, those look really good. Stuff on the inside of the box, whatever. Double-sided. Double-sided game boards. Yeah, that's... So not only is it game board, but it's a double-sided game board. Yeah, that just... Great. Shipping. Please note that shipping and VAT is not included in this Kickstarter price. Shipping and VAT will be collected in the pledge manager after the project. It will be so you're going to get jacked by the VAT. Compliance with that, we're obligated to collect VAT, but you're not going to get jacked by your mailman. Shipping estimates, USA. This is rough. It looks crude, but the bottom line is this is all you need. Like, this is perfect. $9, $11. Seems reasonable. 15, 17, 12, 15. Please click here for the EU shipping rates. Okay. Solid. Social media. Should use the things. Tiny Epic Games. Wow. Yeah, I was going to say tons of them. Easy entry. Kind of be used in small box. Gamelyn Games. Follow us on Kickstarter. Interesting they're not using this as an opportunity to liquidate any of their inventory. A lot of companies do that. Do you have any Tiny Epic games? If so, what ones do you have, and do you have a favorite? I have Tiny Epic Zombies. They gave me a review copy of it a long time ago, and I never shot a review on it. But I will one day. The problem was the rules. I had the rules, and then I lost the rules because I used to just carry around like 8 rule booklets that I would read at work. But yes, I played one. I think I played Tiny Epic Galaxies. My buddy Brandon has that one, and the Tiny Epic Galaxies expansion, I do believe. And I enjoyed that a good deal. And I think that's my limited exposure with the Tiny Epic series. Risks and challenges. But honestly, for that, I mean, I think the best one, Geek, and then just type in Tiny Epic, and then, like, what's the best one? Tiny Epic, because, oh, man. Look at that. So what is the top? Yeah, to 290 for Tiny Epic Galaxies. Tiny Epic Kingdoms at the 1437. Wow! Lots of games in the top 3,000. Dang! Tiny Epic Dinosaurs cracking the top 1,000. Whoo! There you go. There's some brand loyalty there. I mean, you're making great games, but it doesn't hurt that you have people who really want your games to succeed because they love the series, you know? It's like when one of your favorite TV shows releases a season, you're hoping it's fantastic, you know? Terms and conditions, okay. Shipping looks solid. And then let's see. Anybody taking those weird pledge levels? So there's the one where you get 2. There's the one where you get 10. 14! Wow! Is that more like a friendly local game store kind of one? I'm going to guess. That's really interesting. And there's... Then the honorary producer, yeah, 255. Oh, you get an advance copy of the deluxe version. Okay. And you get your credits and 10 backers. Wow. Brand loyalty. Go Gamelyn Games. That kicks ass. Love seeing that in the hobby. Shipping prices should always be given in the local currencies for euros for Europe, Canadian dollars for Canada, etc. I agree with that as well. Yeah, I would always convert the currencies, and I should say that because if it was in euros or pounds, I would totally say that. I should say that. I personally just believe even something you can do, like like for Canada, for instance, like just convert the Canadian currency. Can I pledge? So this is I hate the FAQ here because if your question's number 11, you have to read through 11 questions to get to your question. I check out Reload from Colossal Games. Look how they handle their FAQ, and you'll say, yeah, that's really awesome. And well, let's see. Useful stuff here, hopefully. Will I be able to purchase in the Pledge Manager? No. Will be available to... Wait, it will be available. Why? That's weird that is not included as an add-on. Or at the very least alluding to the fact, like, hey, you can also get this stuff. We're not sure exactly what's going to be in sale, so you're going to want to do this quick or whatever, or what's sold out. But I think not mentioning it all, that's an odd choice. Can I pledge what? Because I imagine there might be some people that you could snag who are like, yeah, I just really want to pick up, this and this. So yeah, I'll pick up the new one too. What are the card sizes? Once again, I think this is something that should have been in the story. Because this matters to people. It's not me. It's never been me. But this matters to people. I think it should be your story. Also, convert it to inches as well. It'd be nice. Once again, not for the sleeves, per se, but just to help me convictualize that they're not all micro cards, Why the Ragnar expansions is smaller than the base game box is a smaller expansion than our previous full box expansion and a much lower price than the base game. Okay, I'm a retailer. See, so it's just, will there be a neoprene playmat? Yes. On the Pledge Manager, after the project concludes, what? Why is this buried in the FAQ? That's so weird to me. Like, that's really odd. And the fact that it's not its own pledge level, too, is kind of odd, too. That just seems like a natural progression to me. $40. And for $15 more, you get this drop-dead gorgeous playmat. Because I wonder, how many would that sell? Would that sell more than the add-ons? Than in the add-ons? I think probably. If you're spotlighting something, I think people are more likely to buy it. Gather around. Vikings, what an incredible opening day. Thank you for all your support. Our entire team is sincerely grateful. We welcome all our backers. What to expect. Box durability. Black label packaging. So now you're just talking about all the stuff that you already told me in the thing. Why are you telling me this again? Like, I read your story. Oh, unless you added this to the story? No, I think you just ripped it straight from there. Hey, when I go to your update, I'm expecting new information, not the same thing. That's kind of annoying. So, cool. And this is one thing that's kind of surprising. This isn't also on the story as well. Because this gets some people excited. Oh, there's going to be a stream? They want to check it out? I mean, that's not me, but I know people watch this stuff. Most back Tiny Epic Games. So, you're talking about how it's making history. Cool. In closing, let's remember to keep our community friendly, consider accepting all other opinions. I love this. I have almost all the Tiny Epic games, all my game playing is solo. I deeply appreciate the time and effort that goes into making them. Okay. Just people excited. Just people excited for the project, and hopefully in the next update you engage those people. Maybe it's like, hey, we're super excited about this. We got things working in the pipelines as well. But what mechanism would you love to see us explore? Or what game? What game has a mechanism that you like? Just because asking people for mechanisms, I think that's a little bit too narrow of a question. But I'm sure there's a broader way to ask it. But I totally get people engaged here because there's a lot of people here who love you and love what you're doing. And ask them a question. I think $470. Does the $40 package get the Shaman and Ragnarok's add-on? Yes. We have some expansion content planned in development for some older Tiny Epic titles. Wow! Well, that's exciting. That's kind of weird. This just dropped there, but whatever. First time Tiny Epic. Do additional expansions come out down the road for Tiny Epic Games? Oh. Good news. Day, everyone. Welcome to our new backers. Thanks for being here. Okay, cool. They're in there. They're responding. Looks good. Ahoy, new party! So, in the end, Tiny Epic Vikings, final grade on this one. Do I want it? Yes. I think as a Tiny Epic fan, I think you convinced me, as I think is just a regular gamer. Not as much, though. I think maybe, mentioning a little bit because I really think it's a misservice to not mention just how highly rated a lot of the other Tiny Epic games are. You know, you mentioned it's in a series, but when you have like 2 or 3 games in the top 1,000 on Board Game Geek in the series, like, I think that just... So I think they leaned a little bit too hard on their name there. And I think it would have been really easy to not do that and maybe just mention a little bit more, especially because there's also the quotes too. Like, this is the only quote. You get this, and then you get one from the one that's presumably like a written article. And so that just seemed like a little bit of an odd one to me. But do I want it? Yes. Yes, I do. Can you do it? Yes. Totally feel comfortable. What is it? 25 created, whatever. How much is it? Price, I think, is rock solid. You know, even with shipping and an expansion and a mini expansion, you're still under $60. You're presumably getting a lot of gameplay here. And once again, I'm saying these things out loud to myself, and it's just it really surprises me they don't lean more into Scott Alm's track record. Scott Alms, the designer of, you know, how many games does he have in the top 1,000? How many games does he have in the top 3,000? You know, you could mention all this sort of stuff, and they didn't. And I feel like that's a bit of a misstep, because our hobby is growing. Our hobby is growing, and it's rapidly growing, and we shouldn't assume that anybody knows what the Tiny Epic one is. We shouldn't assume that people know what King of Tokyo is. You know, I played King of Tokyo 2 weeks ago with someone who's been coming to my game night because they got into it with Gloomhaven and Arkham Horror, and they had never played King of Tokyo before. And it's just, we shouldn't assume this anymore. Like, these are... they seem to be keeping a lot of things to themselves rather than broadcasting in the campaign. Yeah, that's agreed. And that's an interesting... It's an odd choice. But the price, still rock solid. Just great price. I would honestly spotlight the price here. $25. Just bam. Because I've done polling on this before. $25 less, people don't give a damn. They just throw money at you. And clearly, you got 9,404 backers. But overall, final grade, do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? Yes. So, very rock solid. I really like how they handled part of their pledge area where they said, but for $5 more, you get this. And for $10 more, you get the expansion. You're like, obviously I want the expansion. I wasn't the biggest fan of the video area. It just felt kind of dropped in there in the quotes. But in the end, I think this is a rock solid project. I'm going to give this one an A-. I think solid shipping area. I think it could be better just with a little bit of reorganization, little things here and there, spotlighting, you know, how amazing the Tiny Epic series is, you know, at least according to Board Game Geek, so little things like that, but overall, very awesome project. That is Tiny Epic Vikings, and if it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check out that Kickstarter link down below. If you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, as I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers to celebrate my 10-year anniversary. You know what, I'm going to go with a B+, because I really hated the first 37 seconds of the video. And the fact that I remember it was like the first 7, because it was just nothing but theme and artwork, and it was just generic. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good artwork, but like the main image too, it's just like, all right, here we got Vikings. Like, how many? Yeah, I'm gonna go with a B+ there, because yeah, the main image and then the video, just like, I get it, it's a Viking game. But let me know in the comments below what's your final grade. More information on the banner image would be nice. Agreed. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye bye.